comment, share, and like for more videos to my channel. Hit the bell if you mess with hell. Alright, so in this video, we have Joe Rogan. Flacco says Joe Rogan is racist. Now, I don't think Joe Rogan is just deliberately just a racist against black people. I think Joe Rogan is an opportunist within all people, especially knowing that Joe Rogan was the host of Fear Factor. Fear Factor degraded all types of people, but mostly white people. So he don't discriminate on how he makes his money. Joe Rogan is one of the biggest podcasts that we have here today. And I really don't think that he's just, just this big racist. I think he's just an opportunist.
Comedian Tony Hinchcliffe made an appearance on the Joe Rogan podcast to talk about why black people hate him. And this conversation, I'll be real, was a betrayal from Joe Rogan to black folks, man. Because black folks, we rock with Joe Rogan. Like, we know Joe Rogan has had his past transgressions, but Joe Rogan has always been really progressive up until recently. So we always rock with Joe. Like, Joe Rogan has always been the friendly white man that black folks rocked with. This conversation, man, Joe Rogan really showed his true characters, bruh. Joe Rogan really betrayed us. So Tony Hinchcliffe starts off this conversation, by the way, not touching on how his comedy special flopped, right? He did an entire Netflix special that recently dropped. Again, more racist jokes, making black folks the butt of the jokes. The Netflix special flopped. Even the racist people were like, really, bro? Like, you gonna give us this? Like, we appreciate the racism, man, but can you make it funny? So the special flopped. Nobody watched it. Black folks ignored it. So he's on Joe Rogan now to talk about how he's being unfairly attacked by black folks, taking no accountability whatsoever for what he did at that Kevin Hart roast.
So, what's it been like the weirdness, the post-roast weirdness?
I'm always surprised by these things. I'm always surprised that they last so long, that anybody's talking about it. It's so bizarre. I was surprised with the Pang Dang thing. I was surprised at the Trump thing. And this one is really surprising because with other ones, they're like, there's a time and a place for jokes like that or this or that or whatever. And this is the time and the place for it, is like the roast of Kevin Hart. I'm going to go for it.
Y'all must think y'all talking to dummies or something, man. Y'all must think that people who are listening to this podcast are just dumb to try to get that off. Oh, I could never imagine in my wildest dreams that people will be upset at this joke. You, as a comedian who's aware of your public perception, you are aware that people view you, at the very least, an insensitive prick who don't like black people. That's the very least. The worst they think of you is they think you are a white supremacist. So you understand how people view you. You understand the public perception of you, especially after that Puerto Rican joke. But yet, when you was writing down this George Floyd joke to perform it on Netflix, you couldn't in your wildest dream think of a day where people would be upset about this George Floyd joke.
Cosby Hart is a black comedian from Philadelphia, and like Bill Cosby, women don't know when Kevin is inside of them. You've done good though, Kevin. The black community is so proud of you. Right now, George Floyd is looking up at us all, laughing so hard that he can't breathe.
We despise and hate racist people all across the board. But you gotta have some level of appreciation for the bold and defiant and proud racists. Like the dude who would tell you, hey, I'm racist, right? Like, for example, and this might sound like blasphemy, Chud the Builder, who go out and call black folks the N-word with the hard R, he is outside proud in his racism. You know why? You know why I appreciate that more than what Tony Hinchcliffe is doing? Is because it gives me an opportunity to face my enemy head on. I don't have to guess about you. That's what you want, cool. This is what I am. I don't like you. We enemies, bet. But Tony Hinchcliffe comes outside, and every time he opens up his mouth, he's disrespecting black folks. And then hide behind, it's just jokes. I don't even know why they are upset. Black folks are the only people that are hilarious to make fun of. What about 5'1", nasally white boys who look like mole rats? Right? Ain't no jokes about them. You should have plenty. That's your reality. Look in a mirror. But this dude, for some reason, is a coward. He doesn't want to just fess up. Hey, I make fun of black folks because I don't like them. Right? I think I'm better than them. Just own up to it. Now, Joe Rogan, I'll be real. I'm even more surprised at Joe Rogan. Because Tony Hinchcliffe being a coward, surprise, all right? like, duh. Now, Joe, we rock with you, Joe. Like, I am stunned. You will be complicit in this. Because what Joe Rogan will proceed to say, it doesn't come, but at some point in this podcast, Joe Rogan responds to Tony Hinchcliffe delusions, and he feeds into it, and he makes black folks the villains, and Tony Hinchcliffe the hero.
That's it.
Oh.
I did a Kyle Rittenhouse joke. I did this, and then this one, people are offended or something. I don't know. And yeah, if you just watch that clip on my dismount, it's a crazy clip. But if you watch the entire flow of the roast set, it's just one last departing joke, which that's my thing, man. It's like I knew Earthquake would be standing up on his feet like he was halfway through my set. There's standing O's that are happening during my actual roast. And on this.
Now do y'all see why the Sambo is so dangerous? Because the Sambo gives them validation to do this nonsense. Earthquake standing up and giving him a round of applause as he says the George Floyd joke, tells him black folks is cool with this. If I disrespect black folks, that don't matter, because black folks love my jokes. They love when I make fun of them. They think of me as the cool white guy who can make black jokes. You see why Sambos are so dangerous? That's why we shouldn't play with a Sambo, man. There should be no playing with no Sambos out there, bruh.
Rental cars are not cool.
People like these people, Joe Rogan and this other comedian guy that's supposed to be so funny that made it actually to Kevin Hart's roast. I think people like him are people who are in position. I think he's puppeteering for people that's in position that can't really say what they really want to say. But what they can do is have this pecker on their shows. What they can do is laugh at the jokes that's not so funny. I don't know. They can do that out loud without fucking up their brand deals, without fucking up their friendships.
Because these people work against us. They work to our detriment. He is literally using one of the Sambos who gives you it's just jokes. What are y'all talking about? It's just jokes. How comedians can make jokes now? Comedians can make jokes now? What are those? They're using them to justify them disrespecting us. And the number one Sambo they used? Now, she's a repeat offender. Tiffany Haddish. That's the first person they brought up to justify why his George Floyd joke wasn't that bad. Tiffany Haddish liked it.
And so, for people to nitpick that joke and be offended, and it's funny because it was a lot of comedians, a lot of black comedians were like, I'm upset about this. They made their videos, which is just hilarious because they're not on the roast. They're not in attendance at the roast.
You saw Tiffany Haddish.
That was the best one. Nobody handled it better than her.
Specifically about the George Floyd joke, what are you thinking? Is it just comedy? Should they have been a little less?
I think it should have been shorter. The show was too long.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, I was sitting there the whole time. I had to pee. I didn't hear the George Floyd joke because I had to pee so bad.
So you went to the bathroom with that?
I was a glorified seat filler, and I was tired.
Well, also, Lonnie and other people were like, oh, maybe it was a little too racially motivated. What do you think as far as the jokes? Is this just comedy? Or are people taking it too seriously?
Is this all comedians saying it that wasn't invited?
That's the comedian Tiffany Haddish.
Bro, that was her version of the Sean O'Malley walk-off KO.
I love it. I love it, man. That's one. Because there were so many people on it, and it was such a long, big roast. You know, they set you to an allotted time. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do something I don't normally do and blast off more jokes per minute than I normally do. Instead of milking it and getting applause breaks and things like that, I'm just going to create a bang, 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 bang final stand of things. And you know what's funny is that I have something that's supposed to offend everybody. Like, I don't want you to like 100% of any of my jokes.
Tiffany Haddish should be ashamed of herself, man. They used Tiffany Haddish to reaffirm what they already said, which is the only black people that are upset at this are the black comedians who couldn't get in the room, and they just jealous because I'm Tony Hinchcliffe and I'm awesome. Tiffany Haddish, the Sambo, gave that man an out. While Tiffany Haddish said the only people upset at the George Floyd joke are the people who are jealous of me, and I agree. This is just out of pocket, bro. Now they continued, and dude, for some reason, this is what I don't understand, right? He goes and he says, "Well, it's my intention to make people upset at me. It's my intention to be hated and be the heel." Well, if that's your intention and you succeeded at it, then why are you crying? Then what's all the crying about? What's all the, man, I don't know why they don't like me. You said it was your intention. You said you were doing things deliberately to make people dislike you and to make people hate you. Right? You did the George Floyd joke because you understood that joke would get you hated, and it's insensitive and it's disrespectful and people wouldn't like it. You did it because of that reason. Why are you now trying to play naive here? And he would also say some nonsense like, well, I made a Kevin Hart joke, I made a Charlie Kirk joke, I made jokes about everybody. But the Charlie Kirk joke, and we covered this in our last couple of videos, but even with the Charlie Kirk joke was a joke disrespecting black people. So even when you're making fun of a white man, black folks somehow find their way into the disrespect.
I'm not that guy. I'm heelish. I'm a bad guy.
You're a
wrestling
pro wrestling
fan.
heel.
Exactly. Yeah. So what's funny is people got offended about the George Floyd thing, and a lot of people said, yeah, well, Pete Davidson did a Charlie Kirk joke. And they're comparing these things from two different spectrums. But what they didn't mention is that I did a Charlie Kirk joke in my set. So, you know what I mean?
Everybody gets them.
Everybody gets it is always my whole point.
Everybody gets them jokes.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
I said that Kevin has quite the fan base. He has more gunfire at his merch table than Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And
black people got more disrespected like in that Charlie Kirk joke than Charlie Kirk himself. Right? You're saying what, like black people have this proclivity for violence. We can't control ourselves. We walk around with guns shooting up random spots. It was a black person joke. It was not a joke about Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk got thrown in the mix, I guess, if you want to be edgy. But the butt of the joke was black folks again. So even in your number one gotcha example about how you just make fun of everybody, the example you use makes no sense because black folks were still disrespected. Now, Joe Rogan steps in and Joe Rogan says that the people who are upset at him, they're mentally ill. They just want to be upset. Like these people need help. They're mentally sick. I'm sitting back like, really, Joe? The black folks who are upset at him, we're mentally ill now? We mentally ill? We got a problem because we don't want to be disrespected by this guy time after time after time because we don't want him to make fun of a dead man who was murdered in cold blood for the world to see? And furthermore, like even if you want to, I guess, make like a harmless joke, if there's even such a thing as a harmless joke from Tony Hinchcliffe, you go as far as to imply that this man is in hell for what? But we're mentally ill for being upset at him, according to Joe Rogan.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So that's 2 years later. So now you're a guy that they go to, like, to get mad at. And there's a bunch of people like that online that's their business. Their business is people are mad at them. They have hot takes. People are mad at them.
yeah.
I mean, so you've fallen into that category. And so there's going to be people that genuinely don't like what you did and don't like you. And then there's going to be people that are just using it as a commodity. They're just using it as outrage, which is part of what the game is. You know, this is what they do. And their engagement game that they play, and it's kind of what we do in the joke game.
Yeah.
You get engagement, you get people to laugh. You say outrageous things that you don't even really mean, but it's because it's a funny thing to say. It's just like I always say, Bob Marley didn't really shoot the sheriff. You know that, right?
Right.
It's like it's just jokes.
Exactly.
Like when you say inappropriate on purpose, that is like everybody used to know that. And if their hot take gets engagement, they're all looking at their likes, and they just start re-engaging with that subject and going back on it. And this is the real problem. Okay.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. That's bad for your head, kid.
Right. Exactly.
Very bad for your head. All those people that I know that are like, especially comics that are doing it, the comics that are doing it, almost all of them don't have good careers. No, all of them.
Right.
None of them have like impressive careers, especially compared to their contemporaries that are doing well. And then on top of it, they're all mentally ill. They're all people that are filled up with pharmaceuticals, and they're going to therapy. They're like literally mentally ill, and they're online talking about fascists.
Right.
Like stop. Like get your together. Your opinion is not that valuable to people because they know that you're up. Do you not understand that?
I'm so disappointed in Joe Rogan, man. How come it's never, hey, man, leave these folks alone? Hey, man, these folks not bothering you, bro. They not checking for you, man. Black folks not checking for Tony Hinchcliffe. Black folks, ain't watching Kill Tony in masses. Black folks not watching his comedy special. Black folks don't care about this dude at all. So you on that podcast crying about how black folks is coming for you when all you got to do is just leave black folks alone. Every time you open up your mouth, you got something to say about black folks. Why? Why? Wouldn't that be the example of mental health? Wouldn't that be an unhealthy obsession? That you got this weird kink and unhealthy obsession with black folks that whenever you open up your mouth, it's something you gotta say about black folks. You are obsessed. That's mental health. Leave us alone. It's simple as that. But let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this, man? If you're still watching.
My people, if you're really that upset about Joe Rogan, just do to him what y'all do to did to the Chinese people. Like y'all did to Target. Stop spending your money with them. Make them feel the pockets. Make them hurt in the pockets. Stop supporting them. Stop watching them. Stop listening to them. Stop talking about them. If you that upset, take the matters into your own hands. Comment, share, and like for more videos to my channel. Hit the bell if you mess with hell.